Scarecrow's Feast. It was the night of October the 30th, and in the small town of San Dimas, the streets smelled of rotten pumpkins and bonfire smoke. Raul and his friends, Moro, El Chino, German, and Tico, staggered out of the town bar, laughing uproariously, still holding their bottles. Orange Halloween lights decorated the windows, and the air felt colder than usual, as if the countryside was breathing something dark. "Let's take the shortcut through the cornfield," said Raul, raising the bottle. "That way we'll get home faster." Between laughter and stumbling, they set off down the old road, a forgotten route that crossed the parched fields of a farmer everyone said had been dead for years. In the middle of the field, a scarecrow stood crooked on a wooden pole. He wore a torn jacket, a mask made from a jute sack, and black button eyes. The wind moved him slowly, as if he were breathing. "Look at him," German laughed. "The guardian of the corn." The group began to mock him. They threw stones, kicked him, and spat on him. Moro, laughing, took a knife he used to open bottles, and cut off his arm, throwing him away. Chino pushed him until he fell to the ground. Raul, drunk, said mockingly, "And now who will scare the crows, you old ragamuffin?" They left laughing, leaving the scarecrow in tatters, its sack torn and its head tilted to one side. But as they walked away, the wind turned icy. A cracking sounded behind them like wood breaking. Raul turned around for a moment, but saw nothing. Only the dark field and the sound of the corn stalks moving, as if something were slipping through. That morning, Moro was the first. His mother found him hanging in the shed, with straw sticking out of his mouth, and his left arm torn off, the same one he'd severed from the scarecrow. The footprints on the ground were strange, as if someone with muddy boots had entered, but not left. Then came El Chino. The neighbors heard screams from his yard. When the police arrived, they found his body crushed against the wall, as if he'd been hit with inhuman force. There were remnants of straw on his face, and a loose thread between his teeth, as if someone had sewn his mouth shut before killing him. German was found headless. They found her hanging from a post in front of their house, with a jute sack over her, and 2 black buttons sewn over her eyes. Raul woke up at dawn to the sound of sirens. They had found belongings of his in the homes of the dead, a cap, a lighter, a knife. The police didn't believe him when he said the scarecrow had come to life. "Do you understand what that sounds like, Raul?" the officer shouted at him. "Your friends are dead, and your things were there." He spent the night in the cell, shivering. But at midnight, he heard the sound of shuffling feet in the hallway. A smell of earth and rotten corn filled the air. In the shadows of the cell, a figure moved slowly, a torn sack for a face and a rope hanging from its neck. The scarecrow looked at him from the bars, its black button eyes gleaming in the dim light. Raul backed into the corner, panting. "I didn't mean to do it. It was just a joke," he cried. The scarecrow raised his arm, the one they'd torn off, and placed it crookedly on his shoulder, as if he'd just recovered it. Then, a hand made of straw reached through the bars, and grabbed him by the neck. Raul's scream could be heard outside the building. The next morning, the guards found him dead in his cell, his head tilted to one side and a sack covering his face. On the floor, there was a small trail of straw, leading to the open dungeon door. The case was closed. It was said that Raul had murdered his friends in a fit of madness and then taken his own life. The scarecrow was forgotten, until the following Halloween, when the town's children swore they'd seen him standing again, with his arms complete and a new smile sewn onto his face made with red